Games, there's a girl named Prim and Katniss. Katniss was Prim's older sister, and then Prim volunteered to go into the Hunger Games because whenever they're 12, they have to go and volunteer. And Katniss has been put in like millions and millions of times. So was everybody else, but it was Prim's first time because she just turned 12. And then Prim got chosen, and Katniss volunteered for Prim so that Prim didn't have to go into the Hunger Games and kill a bunch of people. And then Peeta Mellark, it was this other guy that got chosen for the Hunger Games. And then they went to the Capitol, they met everybody, they met this guy, really nice guy named Haymitch. He was the only victor in District 12. Oh yeah, and there's different districts through 1 through 12, and they all have different things, like District 12 is coal, you know what I'm talking about. So, and then when they got into the Hunger Games, there was like a meeting, and she was called the Girl on Fire because she had this awesome dress that like lit on fire when you spun. It was awesome because their clothes designer was just the best. And then when they got into the Hunger Games, it was really crazy at first. And then Katniss hid in a tree for like 2 days, and then there were these things called track or something. They're like bees. So there were people waiting below her to try to wait her out. It was Peeta and a bunch of other people from different districts. They were all teamed up. And then they were called Tracker Jackers. And Katniss had a Tracker Jacker nest, and she threw them down onto the bunch of people, and a bunch of them got stung, but only one of them died. Katniss was injured too. She got down, and then she found one of the people that got killed had a bow, so she took the bow, and then Peeta ran and hid, and Katniss met this really nice little girl. Her name was Rue. It was her first time in the Hunger Games, so they were setting up a trap because the big group of people had gotten all the food together and captured all the food. They had laid mines around the food so that they would make a plan. Rue was supposed to light a ton of fire so that the big group of people thought that there were people over there, so that they would go and kill him. But there was this one guy who was sent to guard, and then there was a girl that grabbed some food because she dodged the mines. It wasn't Katniss or Rue, but after that there was Katniss went over there. She saw a bunch of the apples, and all the apples fell down and let a bunch of the mines go off, and then all the mines exploded. And then oh my god, all the mines exploded. Then she went back over to Rue. She was looking for Rue, and they had this signal. It makes mockingjays go crazy. It makes mockingjays go all turkey. They make them all go chirpy. And once they did that, that was their signal, the signal that they were all okay. And Katniss kept on doing it, and she thought Rue was dead. And then she found Rue, but Rue wasn't dead. And then Rue got a spear thrown in her stomach by this guy, and Katniss turned around and shot the guy in the stomach with her bow. And then Rue died, and Katniss put up 3 fingers like this, and she was like to the camera. And then Peeta, and then there was the announcers. They said that 2 people from the same district could win. So Katniss found Peeta. Peeta his leg had gotten stabbed. His leg got stabbed. And then they hid in a cave, and then they said there would be a feast at the cornucopia, which is where they all started. It's where all the weapons were and stuff. And then Katniss went there, but Peeta didn't want her to go. So they went there. Katniss went there to get the food, and then Katniss got the food, but then one of the girls from the group of people came over there and tried to kill Katniss, and then the guy that came in the Hunger Games with Rue was killed the girl that was trying to kill Katniss, and then Katniss got away because the guy that killed the girl was like, for Rue. And then Katniss got away, and she went back, and then they had gotten a donation from Haymitch, a sponsor, where it just like soup came down in a little care package, and In the bag full of stuff, there was a bunch of medicine so they could heal their cuts. So they put it on to heal their cuts. And then they woke up in the morning and they were all healed and stuff. Katniss had stopped bleeding, and the big cut in Peeta's leg had gone away, and it was all healed now. So they started to head back to the cornucopia, and then they turned the game creators. They turned it to night, and when they turned it to night, they created these huge, big bulldog mutant things that came after all of them. And then that dude that helped Katniss so she wouldn't get killed during the feast got killed by one of those dogs. So they went to the cornucopia, got on top of it, and there was a blonde guy up there. He was one of the groups of people. Like, he was the really, really bad guy. So he tried killing Peeta, and then Peeta told Katniss to shoot the guy in the hand because the guy had Peeta in a chokehold. So Katniss took out her bow and shot the guy in the hand, and Peeta pushed him off the edge of the cornucopia, and then he fell and got eaten by the dogs. And then it was daytime again, and all the dogs were gone. So Peeta and Katniss came down off the cornucopia, and then they said that the rule had changed and only one person could win. Then they said good luck, and they were about to eat these poison berries. And these poison berries were like really poison, they could kill you in a minute. So they were both about to eat them, so that they couldn't have a winner. And then they said that they need to stop because there can be two winners as long as they're from the same district. And Peeta and Katniss won. And then when they got back to their district, Haymitch was there, and Haymitch told them, Katniss and Peeta, that the district was really mad because and Katniss asked, why? Was it because we won? Said Katniss. And then Haymitch said, no, because you stood them up. So the game creator was sentenced to death because he didn't do a good job. He didn't make it so there was only one winner. So he had to eat the berries to die. And then Katniss and Peeta were marked. They were famous, and that's where the movie ends.